Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
It's January 1st. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
And remember that you need to start calling the year 2021, so remember that. Yeah, I always tend to forget that whenever I write the date down. I keep writing down the last year's numbers, but yeah, 2021. It's a new year, and we're thinking about traveling. Hopefully the virus has cleared up by now, or will clear up sometime soon. And of course, it's the middle of the winter now, and it's a good time to go someplace that is dark all the time if you want to do such a thing. It might be an interesting phenomenon. We're going up to some place that's the farthest north you can get in the world, at least in terms of a town where people live. And where exactly is that, Stephanie?
We're going to be talking about a place that is in Norway, and it's actually the last town you can go through before you get to the North Pole. You know, like where Santa lives, and there's lots of snow. This particular town is quite small. I was listening to a video today, and they have people from over 50 different countries that actually live there. But you'd have to really love snow to want to live in Longyearbyen, which is a really, really frozen type of place to live. I like to be cold, but I don't think I like to be that cold. Plus, they don't get the sun for, I think it's 3 or 4 months a year. It's just completely dark. So that would be depressing to me.
Yeah, but the nice thing is that during the summer, the sun never sets for about 3 or 4 months. So then you'll have difficulty sleeping. But yeah, this might be a place you would consider checking out in the future when we're all free to travel once again and when we're not afraid of catching the virus. But this is our travel unit for the month of January as we kick things off for the new year 2021 or 2021. So let's get to it. Let's read the entire contents of our article right now, and then we will discuss it in detail. Between the North Pole and mainland Norway, you'll find Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago with a frozen landscape. It's so far north that 4 months of the year pass in complete darkness, and 4 others see 24-hour daylight. This isolated area is home to Longyearbyen, a town of 2,400 residents and the northernmost town on Earth. In 1907, Longyearbyen was established as a coal mining town. Coal production has since ceased there, and it's now known as an outdoor adventure destination. The Doomsday seed vault is also located there. It safely stores crop seeds and could come to humanity's rescue in a global food shortage. On Svalbard's islands, polar bears are more numerous than humans, and people in Longyearbyen must carry guns to protect themselves if they travel past the town's borders. Students at the local school and university learn not only standard academic subjects, but also cold weather survival skills and polar bear safety. Besides adventure sports like kayaking and exploring ice caves, Longyearbyen has abundant cultural activities and sightseeing opportunities, including museums, restaurants, and pubs. Between November and February, the beautiful northern lights, also called Aurora Borealis, dance across Longyearbyen's sky as if they were a fantastic laser light show. Each March, Longyearbyen celebrates the end of the dark season with art exhibitions and concerts during Sun Festival Week. For residents and tourists alike, Longyearbyen is truly a winter wonderland all year round.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at the title first. Say you want someone to imagine something. You're just saying kind of picture it mentally in your mind. Sometimes we can't actually go somewhere, so we sort of imagine what it would be like. So here you could picture life in the world's northernmost town. You can picture this as we talk about this particular town. It's Longyearbyen. There are videos online that'll show you kind of what the landscape is like. And it's kind of fun to have somebody who resides there or lives there take you on a tour. That way, we call those virtual tours because you're doing it digitally or online using a computer instead of getting on a plane and flying there. I think, as far as I understand it, my Taiwanese friends don't particularly like cold weather. So I'm not sure we'd have a lot of people out there listening who want to make plans to go to this town, although it sounds like a real adventure.
It certainly does. And of course, this is a group of islands called Longyearbyen. There's a village there, and then that is on a group of islands there, which are quite a ways away from mainland Norway. So you probably have to fly there or take a ship or something like that. But still, it would be quite an adventure to go there. So between the North Pole and mainland Norway, you'll find Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago with a frozen landscape. Yes, when you go really far north, during the winter, you get a frozen landscape. Here in Taiwan, I suppose you have lots of mountain landscapes, but there you get this frozen landscape if you're into that sort of thing. If you like to see mountains with snow on top of them, or snow on the ground, or ice on the highways and stuff like that, yes, you'll get this frozen landscape. And, of course, anything that has to do with Norway is called Norwegian. Okay, so yeah, the Norwegians are very good at skiing, for example. And an archipelago, that's like a group of islands, right?
Right. I thought this is something you love to talk about, archipelago. Yeah, it's a particular shape, I believe, too. Archipelago, it's a group of islands, like Tom said, and there's sea or a stretch of water that has these many islands grouped together. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how you'd actually get there. You'd fly into Norway, to the main area of the country, their capital city, and then you'd probably have to take other transportation to get to this place, Svalbard. Svalbard. I don't speak Norwegian. Anyway, it's so far north that 4 months of the year pass in complete darkness. You literally don't have any daylight at all. And it might be kind of depressing for some. I know in some of these areas of the world where they don't get a lot of light, they're too far north, and they just don't get the sun during the winter, that people will actually buy artificial light to put in their apartments or their homes and just shine on their faces so they don't get so depressed. It's pretty important to have light in our lives. So it's so far north that if you choose to go there, you might want to go in the summer, I would think, instead of the winter, where it'll be completely dark and you really can't see a whole lot when it's really dark outside.
It kind of depends. Of course, a lot of people go there for the darkness in order to see the northern lights, which we'll get to in just a couple of seconds here. But again, it is so far north that 4 months of the year pass in complete darkness. And for others, for other months in the year, see 24-hour daylight. So yeah, you know how the tilt of the axis works, and during seasons, of course, different parts of the Earth receive different amounts of sunlight. So basically, in the northern hemisphere, it's darker in the winter than it is in the southern hemisphere. So yeah, during the summer, of course, northern countries like in Canada and Russia, they will have very long days. I remember when I was a kid growing up in the northern United States that, summer days were quite long. The sun would come up at maybe 5 in the morning and wouldn't set until 9 at night or something. So the days can be quite long in the summer.
Which is kind of good for some people, but you have 4 months where it's completely dark and 4 months where you see 24-hour daylight. I wanted to mention sort of a grammar point here, guys. When you have words describing a noun and you put them together like this, 24-hour, notice we don't say 24 hours daylight. If it turns into an adjective or 形容词, you don't want to make hour plural. For example, if you have a meeting and it lasts 2 days, you can describe it as being a 2-day meeting, not a 2 days meeting. I see that mistake made quite a bit here in Taiwan, so be careful with that.
Sometimes we have 4-day holidays
Sure.
here in Taiwan. Sometimes, say, a holiday falls on Thursday, so we get the Friday off by working a Saturday the week before, so we get a 4-day weekend or a 4-day holiday. So here, of course, we've got 24-hour daylight in the summer and 24-hour darkness in the winter. Now, this isolated area is home to the town of Longyearbyen, which is a town of 2,400 residents or 2,400 residents, and it's also the northernmost town on Earth. Okay, that's not a very big town. 2,400 people is not a lot of people. There's a town near my hometown that only had maybe 2,000 people, Wallingford. It was quite small, and yeah, it's like a town you can enter in 1 second and be out the next second.
Yeah, so it has a very small population of 2,400 residents. Those numbers, of course, that number 2,400 does not count tourists. So those are just the people who live there. So we're going to talk more about the northernmost town on Earth, guys. But first, we're going to take a quick break and listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜，欢迎收听今天的 English Digest。今天是1月1号诶，要先跟大家说新年快乐哦。今天我们的主题是要带大家到地球最北边的一个小镇，这个小镇叫做 Longyearbyen。这个名字很奇怪哦，这个是一个欧洲的名字。不过这篇文章我们是设计成一个克漏字的选择，所以我们等一下呢会边看文章，然后边带大家解题。这个小镇呢 Longyearbyen 呢，它其实是位在北极 The North Pole 跟挪威的大陆中间。那么在这两个地方中间呢，其实你会先看到一个群岛，一个 archipelago， 这个群岛呢叫做 Svalbard， 那么它是有着一个冰冻的景观的一个群岛。那么接着在第一段的第二句，我们看到了第一题，第一题呢有2格 It's 什么什么 far north， 很远很远，又在北边。接着第二格4 months of the year， 一年的4个月会在完全的黑暗当中 pass， 这里的 pass 是动词哦，度过。而另外的 4 others 指的是 4 other months， other 本身可以当代名词，所以在这里指的是另外的4个月，则全天24小时都看得到白天。那么在这里的2格呢，我们从选项来看， A 跟 B 其实都有如此的以至于什么什么结果这个句型。那么 C 呢是像什么一样一样的如何如何。第二个 S 表示的是像，用比喻的用法来修饰一个前面形容词或副词的程度。那么最后一个 D 的选项呢 So as 通常会加不定词 to do something， 所以如果回过头到这句话当中，我们会发现第二格之后看到的是完整的句子，所以在句子当中呢，我们 A、B、C 的选项是比较适合，可是 A 跟 B 的选项，它的 such 后面会加名词， so 后面才会修饰形容词跟副词，所以在这一格当中呢，要选 B， 在文意上跟文法上是比较通顺的。那么接下来呢，我们看到的就是这样子的一个被孤立的一个区域 The isolated area， 同样呢与世隔绝，其实它就是这个 Longyearbyen 的所在地，而且这个地方呢有2400位居民，而且同时是地球上最北端的小镇。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's get to it. Let's continue with our explanation here. Again, we're talking about the northernmost town in the world, which is part of Norway. It's called Longyearbyen. And remember, they've got 24-hour darkness in the winter. And, of course, this town is very small. It only has 2,400 residents, but it's the farthest north you can go, at least in terms of having a town there. And in the year 1907, Longyearbyen was established as a coal mining town. So people moved up there from mainland Europe to get jobs working in coal mines, and that was way back in the year 1907. But coal production has since ceased there. So here we've got the word cease, C-E-A-S-E, cease. That's the verb there. That means to stop. It's just another way of saying something stops, and this is the past tense here. It has ceased. Production has ceased. We often use this when we talk about business operations. Yeah, our business operations in China have ceased. We pulled out of that market last year, for example.
Right. So they no longer mine for coal, which is a tough job anyway. I think most of coal production these days is done in China. There are a couple of mines in West Virginia in the eastern part of America. But yeah, that's a tough job. You have to go underground and dig for coal. So yeah, it's ceased there. Now it's just known as an outdoor adventure destination. When you talk about a destination, it's just a word we use to talk about where you're going. You'll often see it in the airport, your destination, arrival and departure board. They'll have a list of destinations or cities that people are flying into. And you can also talk about how you're going to go on vacation and you have a pretty amazing destination in mind or a place you want to visit. So that destination is now considered to be somewhere where these outdoorsy type of folks like to go. They like to go probably do a lot of skiing or at least, I don't know, maybe snowboarding. I don't think there are a lot of mountains per se, but per se just means I don't think there are a lot of mountains. You wouldn't go down slope skiing, but there might be some winter sports you could participate in. And you'd definitely be someone who likes adventure if you head to this part of the world.
Yeah, for skiing or hiking in the winter, winter camping is a lot of fun. Or I'm sure you could do that stuff during the summer as well.
Or ice fishing.
That's fun too. If you're into that sort of thing, you can catch some deep sea fish or something, or if they swim up to the surface or something. Well, also in this town, the Doomsday Seed Vault is also located there. Okay, so here we've got the word locate as a verb. That just means something is there. We could say that the National Aquarium is located in Checheng, down in the south of Taiwan there. So here we've got the Doomsday Seed Vault. Doomsday, of course, refers to the end of the world when the bombs blow up or when the asteroids come and hit or whatever. And a vault, of course, is someplace where you keep something safe, like a vault at the bank.
Yeah, the bank vault is where they keep all the money. And if a bank is robbed, they'll often try to get the bank manager to open the vault so that they can get in there and get that money. So they're keeping seeds there in case, the world has some big tragedy. Maybe an asteroid hits us or, I don't know, maybe a nuclear war breaks out and it destroys a lot of crops, a lot of food. They have extra types of seeds stored in this area in case we have some sort of catastrophe happen to the world. We hope not. If something's located somewhere, that's where you can find it. You can say located or located. Both pronunciations are correct. For the most part, Americans just say located. But you'll look up in the dictionary, and I'm sure some will say you have to say locate. But you don't really. It's one of those weird words. So it safely stores crop seeds. Remember, when you plant seeds and grow food, those fields of food that you're growing are referred to as crops. And they could come to humanity's rescue in a global food shortage. A shortage is when you don't have enough of something. For example, toilet paper. If you come to humanity's rescue, it just means you're doing something to save all of the people on Earth. So I think you could say these seeds have a pretty important mission to perform. Rescue is when somebody or something comes into a situation and removes somebody or something from that dangerous or potentially scary situation. So you can be rescued by many things, a friend, a policeman, different things like that. So these seeds are pretty valuable.
Yeah, someone might be stuck on Diaoyutai, but someone will come and rescue them, or they will come to their rescue. And let's go on to the next paragraph here. It says, on Svalbard's islands, polar bears are more numerous than humans, and people in Longyearbyen must carry guns to protect themselves if they travel past the town's borders. So yeah, you get polar bears up in the north there. Those are those white bears, and there are more of them there than humans. They are more numerous than humans. There are more polar bears than people there. So the people there have to carry guns if they leave the town, okay? Otherwise, they might be attacked by those polar bears. So yeah, they probably have to get a permit for those guns and learn how to use them and stuff like that.
Students at the local school and university are taught standard academic subjects like English, math, but they also are taught cold weather survival skills in case they get lost or something happens and they're stuck outside, and how to be safe around those polar bears. I didn't know they attacked people. So besides adventure sports, for example, kayaking and exploring ice caves, Longyearbyen has a lot or abundant cultural activities and sightseeing opportunities. Just like normal destinations where people go for vacation, they have museums, restaurants, pubs. An opportunity is just a way that you get to experience something. And here we're talking about sightseeing opportunities that just makes it possible for you to do something. Everybody wants a lot of good career opportunities so that they can increase their salary year by year.
Yeah, lots of people move from the center and south of Taiwan to Taipei for better job opportunities. And yeah, it's a small town, but there are lots of things to do there with museums, restaurants, and pubs where you can drink some beer and have a good time. Now, between November and February, the beautiful northern lights, also called Aurora Borealis, dance across Longyearbyen's sky as if they were a fantastic laser light show, okay? So yes, this is right now between the months of November and February. You've got the northern lights there, which are also referred to as the Aurora Borealis. And if you've ever seen them before, it looks like they're dancing across the sky just like they were a laser light show. As if here just means as if or just like. You get the idea there. So in this particular case, it's like a laser light show, which you might see at some exhibitions here in Taiwan, a laser light show. But this one is a fantastic laser light show. Fantastic just means out of this world, really incredible, really fantastic.
That's what I'd like to see. So each March, Longyearbyen celebrates the end of the dark season. How do they do it? How do they celebrate? They have art exhibitions and concerts during what they call Sun Festival Week. Sounds fun. Now, an exhibition is where usually pieces of art are displayed publicly in a big area. It could be an art gallery or a museum. Sounds like that's the time that to people who like more light should try going there. But I want to see the northern lights. So yeah, for residents and tourists alike, for both of these groups, Longyearbyen is truly a winter wonderland all year round. Sounds like the perfect place if you love winter, especially if you're fascinated by the Aurora, how do you say that? Aurora Borealis. Yeah.
That's it, indeed, the Aurora Borealis, but more commonly they are referred to as the Northern Lights. And if you go down to Antarctica, you can see the Southern Lights, which are called the Aurora Australis or something like that.
Nobody ever talks about those much,
Yeah, because nobody, well, not nobody, but very few people go down there.
Yeah.
Most people live in the northern hemisphere. But yeah, it's like a winter wonderland, which is unfortunate because Christmas just passed us by, so I can no longer sing this Christmas carol, Walking in a Winter Wonderland. Or I guess I still could, but yeah, most people stop listening to Christmas songs once Christmas is over. But yeah, Happy New Year. And yeah, if we're free to travel, if the virus has disappeared, we can certainly go to this town in northern Norway and check out what it has to offer. That brings us to the end of our explanation for today. We're going to listen again to our Chinese teacher.
那么在1907年的时候，聋哑病因为被建立成为一个开采煤矿的小镇 coal mining 开采煤矿的。那当然在这句话当中呢，因为我们看到句子的前后已经有出现了 be 什么什么 as， 那根据文意要选 C 这个 established 建造或者是 built constructed， 它的文意才符合上下文才会通顺。那么接着我们看一下，那么因为在1907年被建立成开采煤矿的小镇，而从那之后煤矿的生产就已经停止。那么现在呢，则是以户外冒险胜地而闻名。不过聋哑病还有一个特色，就是世界末日种子库也位在这里哦。世界末日叫做 Doomsday， 这个 Doom 就是死定了完蛋的意思，所以 Doomsday Seed Vault 指的是世界末日种子库。那当然它就是为了要安全的储存很多的 crop seeds 农作物种子，并且能够在粮食短缺的情况之下拯救人类。拯救这个动词叫做 rescue， 本身也可以当名词，不过当名词的时候通常会用 come to one's rescue。Come to one's rescue。 好，接下来我们看一下第二段哦。在这个 Svalbard 群岛上面，什么东西 Polar bears 比人还要多什么什么东西，所以大家都一定要带枪来保护自己。而第三格呢，因为上下文提到的是北极熊比人类还要什么更多，所以 A numerous 在数量上是比人类还要多。如果你想选 B 的话，这个文意不合诶，因为下文提到是要带枪来保护自己，所以第三格选 A 是比较适当的。而且当地学校啊 local school 还有大学生啊，不仅要学一般的科目，还要学一些 survival skills 生存技能。所以啊，除了 adventure sports 冒险活动之外，还有另外的一些东西。所以在第四格也是根据上下文的文意，除了 A 之外还有 B， 第四格选 D 的答案Besides 是比较适当的。那么常跟它混淆的大概就是 except。 那么 except 这个介系词则是把东西排除在外，不算的意思。最后一格的上下文，不管是对居民还是对游客来说，聋哑病真的都是一个充满冒险很奇幻的一个冬天的圣地。那么第五格的选项 A 跟 B 大概会有一些混淆。A 的 alone 指的是 only 的意思，但是它一定会放在修饰词的后面。那么 C 的 alike 其实语义上就是 both， 两者都如何如何，但是它也会放在修饰词的后面。所以最后一格对于居民跟游客两者来说，答案选 C 是最适当的。以上是我们今天的讲解，我是安娜，我们下次见。
That's it for today, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and please join us again next time. And have a great winter, and enjoy your travels if we're free to do so. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
See ya.